As a small business owner, sometimes money can be scarce. So when you're starting out, you have to be more creative. And in this episode, I'm going to show you how I got creative around tequila in order to save $140,000 and throw some pretty cool events. Want to get inside access to the ad campaigns that have been used by some of the most successful fitness studio brands from all over the world? The ads they've used, the landing pages, texts, emails, videos, what their prospect journey looks like? All of that is available now in LRVT, which stands for Loud Rumor Virtual Training. Whether you're a rookie in the advertising game or a seasoned professional, LRVT is designed to help you and your team advertise like the best fitness studios on the planet. Each training is well produced, thorough, and based on proven campaigns that we've ran successfully over and over again. You'll also be a member of our community where you can ask questions and get support from our team as well as the many other studio owners that we work with. To get started, go to loudrumorvt.com. Again, that's loudrumorvt.com. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the GSD Show. This is a GSD BITE. I'm your host, Mike Garcia, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. In fact, very different. Something I've never done before. I don't ever do. And it's actually sharing a story from the past that I still use as a learning lesson today. And I've learned that by telling the story to other people, they've actually gotten a lot of value from it, and they've started doing stuff differently based on the story as well. So I just decided I'm going to share it here with you. And it's a story about how I use tequila in order to save $140,000 and go from $0 to $42,000 a month in monthly recurring revenue in one move. You guys ready to hear it? All right, let's dive in. So this all starts back when we were like in our third, fourth month in business, and we were broke. And we were at the time, we were just wanting to get any client, that's all we needed. And so I was going to these different networking events. There were several around the valley. I don't care where you are in the country. There are networking events where you are. You can Google them. And so that's what we did. And I was going to about 5 to 7 different networking events every single week, just looking to meet business owners and hopefully gain some new business. After going to a lot of them, I realized that, man, these are great, but I need to have my own networking event because I noticed everyone was gravitating towards a networking event host, and I wanted everyone to start gravitating towards me. And so went to a few different events, and then about a day or two after making that decision, I went to this one resort where an event was being hosted here in Scottsdale. I won't say the name because it doesn't involve a lot of tequila drinking, but I went to this event and I was like, man, this venue is amazing, and it just looked good. It fit the vibe that I was looking for my event. So I go back and I tell my wife, I was like, this is where I want to have it. And so I remember the next morning, I called the venue and I said, hey, I really want to have an event there. What do I have to do? How do we set this up? They said it's $10,000 a night. Obviously, I could not afford $10,000 a night. I wasn't even making $10,000 a year at this point as we just started our company. And so I said, okay, well, how can we work around it? What if we do like a Saturday or a Monday or a Thursday? I said, it doesn't matter what day you choose, it's $10,000 a night. So I hung up a little discouraged and frustrated, but then I said, you know what? It was early in the morning. Let me call a little later on in the day when it might be a different shift, a different employee, and see if maybe I can negotiate with them. So I did. I called later on in the day. I talked to an entirely different person. I pitched them the same thing, and they said $10,000 a night. I couldn't negotiate. That was the deal. So I decided I was going to go to the venue the next night, which was a Thursday, and just kind of feel it out and see what kind of business it's doing at a normal day. So my wife and I went down there, and we got there around 6, 7 o'clock at night, and we were there until about 10, 11 o'clock at night, like 4, 5, 6 hours. And literally like 2 to 3 people actually went in there to get a drink. This venue, this bar, probably made anywhere from $60 to $70, and they had 2 employees working the entire event. They lost money on this particular day. So I decided to use this information as leverage. So I called the next day again. I said, listen, I was there yesterday. I was there all night. There was like 2 to 3 people that came in. What if I come in, but I'm gonna come in with like 300 people? I said, sorry, sir, it's $10,000 a night. It doesn't matter. Hung up the phone and I realized I was talking to the wrong person. This is an employee that's following the rules. There's a set price sheet that she follows, and she just needs to move on with her day and get on to the next task. She doesn't really want to sell it. So I started putting out to everyone I knew, everyone that I've met at all these networking events, that I'm looking for somebody that works at this resort that can help me with getting this venue. And after about a few days of putting this out to everyone I knew, there was actually another event at the same resort, but a different bar within that resort. So I went there, and this girl, Michelle, that I constantly saw at these networking events. Like me, she went to all these events. She came up to me and she said, hey, you see that guy over there? And I said, yeah. She pointed over to the bar and she said, that guy is the guy you need to talk to. He's one of the main decision makers here at this resort. Now, she told me what his name was and what his title was, but for the sake of protecting him, I'm not going to say his name or his title or the resort he worked at, because it involves a lot of tequila drinking. So we're gonna move on past that. So I went up to the bar where he was at and he was talking to this other guy, and I just kind of stayed about a foot or two away, but I was really just listening in and seeing where they were at, what they were talking about, and seeing if there was any way I could just jump into the conversation. And I noticed that they're quoting mob movies. They're going back and forth and they're guessing what movie it's from. So one would quote, Godfather, and then the other one would guess, yeah, it's Godfather. And then he would quote, like Goodfellas, and the other one would guess, yeah, it's Goodfellas. And they kept going back and forth. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. Here I am, an Italian from New Jersey. I watched every mob movie that ever existed. I love mob movies. I know I could jump in here. I just need to wait for the perfect time. And after about 4 or 5 times of them going back and forth, finally it happened. The guy that I needed to talk to gave a line, and he said, I need a spritzer.
Come on, have a spritzer.
And the guy was like, I don't know. He said, what do you mean you don't know? I need a spritzer. I need a spritzer. And he's like, I don't know. Now I knew. This is from the movie Donnie Brasco. So I leaned in, butted into the conversation and said, come on, man, you can't play this game with him. He's a fugazi. You know that.
That's a fugazi? How do you know it's a fugazi?
And he turns around and goes, yes, fugazi, Donnie Brasco. And so next thing you know, we're going back and forth and we're quoting mob movies. And now I'm starting to build a relationship. And he says, hey, what are you doing later? You're a good guy. You want to hang out? We're going to the Prince show. And so there was another venue within this resort that was having an imitation Prince show. So I was like, yeah, sounds great. I'll go. So I went down there and we're all hanging out. Now it's me, this guy, and like other guys all dressed up in black suits. They all work there. And they're all just hanging out watching the Prince show. And so the guy that I'm talking about, my main guy, goes, hey, why don't you go up to the bar and get us some tequila? And I was like, yeah, sure. And he gives me like 30 comp cards, but I only needed I did the math, I needed 11. So I put 19 in my pocket for later. I took 11 up to the bar and I said, hey, I need 11 tequilas. The guy's like, okay. So he goes, brings back 11 tequilas, and we take a shot. Now, I'm not a drinker. So after one shot, I already felt my face getting a little flush. But within 2 to 3 minutes, he goes, hey, Mike, and he gives me more comp cards, like another stack, and he goes, why don't you go get us another round? Now, normally, I don't like to be ordered around like this, but I really knew that I needed to befriend this guy, and now he's getting a little buzz, so I felt my odds were good. So I happily went up and ordered another round. Came back, took another shot, and now I was starting to really feel it. The worst part was these guys didn't look like they were feeling it at all. They looked like they still had a while to go. So he did it again. Hey, Mike, go up and go get us some more tequilas. So now I'm really nervous. So I go up there and I said, hey, look, I need 10 tequilas and 1 shot of water. And the guy looked at me weird and I said, look, just please, I can't drink any, I can't keep up with these guys. Just please, I need just water. And he's like, okay. And so he came back, he gave 10 shots tequila and gave me the shot of water. And I remember taking the shot of water and I had to, make believe, I had to make this crazy face like it was like the strongest, craziest drink I've ever had. And we did that 8, 9 times. These guys were crazy. They had 10 shots. And I had 2 and I had 8 shots of water. But then finally it happened. Right, towards the end of the night, we're now 2-3 hours of hanging out. I'm sitting down, we're laughing, we're having a great time. And he puts his hand on my shoulder. He goes, hey man, you're a really good guy. If there's anything you ever need, man, just let me know. And I said, seriously? He goes, yeah. And I go, can I call that favor in now? And he goes, already? And I said, yeah, actually, yes, I could use some. He goes, what do you need? I told him the venue and the resort that I needed. I wanted to have an event there. And he goes, man, it's $10,000 a night. I said, I know I've heard that story, but you said anything. And he goes, I don't know, man. He said, why don't you call me in the morning? And I said, actually, I kind of want to know right now. And he said, man, I'll make a bad decision if I do it right now. I go, that's kind of what I'm counting on. He said, call me tomorrow. I go, come on, you're not even going to remember me in the morning. He said, yes, I will. Call me in the morning. So he wobbled out of there. I call him the next morning. And I said, hey, I don't even know if you remember me. And he's like, yeah, Mike, we went to the Prince show. And I was like, yeah. He's like, all right, you want that venue, right? And I said, yeah. He says, you got it. Just fill up the room. So I did. I got about 300, 400 people there, filled up the room. Everyone was drinking. It was great. Met a lot of people. Everyone wanted to talk to me. Because we filled up the room, I was able to do that every single quarter, 14 times in a row. It should have cost me $10,000 an event. Instead, I saved $140,000 by having it for free 14 times. And on top of that, we were able to get so many new customers from it that we went from $0 to $42,000 a month in recurring revenue. And then we were able to start advertising and hiring and doing all the stuff that we needed to do. So why do I tell you this story? I tell you this story because a lot of people really like the story. A lot of people here that watch this show don't really know much about me in the past and how we really got here. And there was a lot of little things like that, little weird, creative, scrappy things. And every time recently, I should say, over the last 6 months, whenever I face a challenge or I want to get somewhere, I want to accomplish something, and I realize that I can throw money at it, I've now shifted my mind to going, wait, hold on. What would broke Mike do? What would he do? And I don't always choose what broke Mike would do. Sometimes the other Mike is a little better and it's a faster, more efficient decision. But occasionally, more often than I expected, there's actually a faster, more creative, scrappy way to do things that actually is more fun. It drives better, faster results, and it saves the company money, and sometimes actually makes the company more money because the creativity pays off. So the moral of this story is not to fake drinking tequila to get what you want, but definitely always remember that as you start growing your business, as you start making more money, don't always throw money at the solution. Never lose that scrappiness. Always remember that there's a creative part of you that got you to where you are, and never lose that part of it, because if you can use that and combine it with the opportunity of spending money when you need to and having the choice, you'll always be able to have that option and be able to do better in your business. For me, it's paid off too. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week. Thanks for watching. If you like this episode, make sure you subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play, or YouTube. And to watch more episodes and get exclusive links from each episode, go to gsdshow.com. Again, that's gsdshow.com.